السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أسألك حبك وحب ما يقربنا إليك والاستقامة كما أمرت. وفي الآخرة رؤيتك. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. We are reading from the 24th word from the book of the Words. And this is the fifth branch and first word. We discussed last week what does self-worshipping mean, self-worshipping human ego. And we are not going to repeat that. Inshallah, it doesn't need to recap because it's a long discussion. And the author follows saying that addressing to his own self, or my self-worshipping ego, and or my word-worshipping friend. It means if a person is really worshipping the word, what does it mean? Who worships the word? No one worships the word. It doesn't say that the word is God. But we know that worship means not necessarily going in front of something and bowing, but attributing the quality it has to itself or to something else. It means whatever attribute a quality which is found in this world to anything within the world is my object of worship. We have to understand the very universal definition of worship. Unfortunately, we say we worship God, etc., but we may not notice what we really mean. Of course, we say God is the creator and we accept that and we worship him only, but what matters in our practical life, are we attributing the quality to anybody or anything other than the creator of the universe? It means anything within the universe. Are we attributing this quality? Then worshipping, understand that we think that the world, anything in this world, is the source of the existence of anything. But most probably, this source of existence of anything gives benefit to us. So, gives benefit to us. This is word worshipping. It may be a small thing. It may be a pencil, or it may be your technological gadget, or anything. You may say, because of this, I am happy. It means this is the source of happiness for me. It means the existence of happiness is attributed to something. This is a partial worship. Partial worship means really you don't say this is a God, but actually it boils down to saying that it is God, because God is the one who gives existence to something. By definition, people don't mean it. Yeah, we know that. We respect that. People don't mean it. Yeah, don't mean means don't say that this is God. But this is an, if you like, in quote unquote, idol for me in that particular subject. It means there is no room for God in that particular subject. Because if the pencil is the source of my happiness in my eye, that's it. What am I? What else I'm looking for God? So we have to train ourselves not to fall into this trap. Okay, that is enough for today. So because our main subject is something different. Love, I'm reading from the text. Love is the cause of the universe's existence. How? What is love?
Quality?
Yeah, it's a quality, yeah. When we say love, it immediately comes to mind that it is something to do with between two opposite genders. When you say love, or when we say love, I prefer, I love it, but we don't know really what is love. What is love really? Or the sense of love in human beings is given to us to understand the reality that the existence of the universe shows that the one who gave existence to the universe created it, gave existence to it. If we think deeply, if he didn't love it, do you think he would create it? He would give existence to it? We have to equate. It's not for example, somebody may do a job without loving because he's paid. Or he may get some benefit. But in creation, in the act of creation, there is nothing in return, and there is no reason which really forces the one who gives existence to something. No reason to force it to make to create it, but as a result of a totally arbitrary choice, he gave existence to something. Arbitrary, it means he wanted it. We don't know nothing, it is not clear. We don't speak, and we shouldn't speak from God's perspective. Yeah. God doesn't, we don't say that God loved it or no. What I see, the things exist. And they are preferred to exist rather than non-existent. So there must be an agent who preferred, it's human reasoning, to prefer the existence of the universe and everything within it. Right? There must be an agent who preferred, and we see that, do we see any sign in the creation that the creator of this universe is obliged to create it, forced to create it? Any sign? Then he had to. Otherwise, I don't know, will be punished or will be sorry or will suffer from something. Do we have any kind of evidence for it in the universe? It is just a result of a free choice.
How do you?
Huh.
There's no. I don't know.
That's the main subject.
We have into speculation from his perspective. Like, how do you know it's his choice or not his choice?
See, if it is not a choice, it will be impelled to do. Huh? Do you see any? Look at the universe in general. Do you see any sign that the one who gave existence to the universe is compelled by something? He had to. Sign here. See the sign.
But give me an example that prove to me that he's not compelled.
No. You look for the proof that the creator of this universe is compelled. So the result will be, because we cannot really conclude by speaking about the creator, but we can conclude by looking and analyzing our observation. For example, look at your own existence. You know, the one who gave me the existence had to give me, otherwise, this is the sign that he had to give me because he's compelled to do so. There is a sign. Everything is completely, freely designed in the perfect way, as far as I can see. As far as I can see. Now, I know that I am the result of a free choice.
So your initial question was, do I see any sign that the creator was obliged to create the universe?
But if the sign in the creation, of course, the one who gave.
If I look at myself, then I feel that, I do need the universe.
But for you, the creator, we are talking about the creator. He is obliged to create it. Is there any sign? He is obliged to make you like this.
Well, he's created the universe and I'm in it. And
no, but look.
There must be something that created the universe.
There must be something. There must be something that created the universe. That's my conclusion by looking at the universe. But I am looking at now, it is a free choice, or is there any sign that he is obliged, he is compelled to do that?
To do what?
To create the universe as it is, with its order. No, in the sign, look at the universe. Is there any sign that he is compelled?
Including myself, right? Even looking at myself, is there any sign that he's compelled to create me?
Yeah.
And the universe, and me within the universe? No, I don't see any sign. I don't see.
Yeah.
I think that the question, or maybe the observation that we just mentioned a couple of minutes ago, is that if this thing exists or came into existence, then can it be a logical conclusion that it was preferred to exist over non-exist?
Existence, yeah.
So then, for me, obliged or not obliged doesn't really apply, because I could say this being was preferred to be given existence over non-existence. So then that's choice, right? Like,
Yeah.
whether you like that individual or thing or not, it was brought into existence by other than you, so it was preferred or chosen or willed or decided or determined, in all those words, to exist or not exist. So whether
So
that
it is the preference.
preference, whether it was obligation or not obligation, it was preferred
So-
to come into existence by other than me, and it could have been non-existent, but it exists, so it was a preference or a choice. That makes sense.
I think the preference is one thing, so I prefer to go to work, but there is another reason that makes me want to go to work, for example. So I think the other question that comes on top of whether it's a preference or not is whether there is any compulsion in it. And I would say the only evidence that I can gather is from this universe, and by the nature of the creation, having studied it before, the creator of the universe is not part of the universe. There's no way for me to gather evidence within the universe that shows his whether he's compelled or not. Like, it's almost as if
No. If there is no evidence that the creator of this universe is compelled to do it, we have to say it's a free choice, as Sarah said. The existence of this universe has been chosen over its non-existence. So it is a free choice. I conclude that it must be a free choice. My conclusion.
I guess that's fair enough. I'm thinking of like an engineer that builds a computer. There is nothing within the computer that compels the engineer to do it. If there is any compulsion, it'll probably be outside of, and I don't know anything about outside. So the only thing that I can speak of,
in the machine.
yeah,
Eh,
the
but
only
where
thing
is
I
it?
can speak of is within the machine. And
Yeah.
within the machine, there is absolutely.
So what I understand, that engineer has chosen it to be as it is. So as far as this is, but we know that it is an example. No, it is just a metaphor. So metaphor is valid only from one point, not two. Which means within the machine and the engineer, I see the machine and see that this machine is made by the choice of the maker. If, let's say, the machine is rectangular rather than square, the engineer has chosen it to be square. Nothing that engineer is forced by the boss to do that, because we are talking about the creation. We cannot go there. Creation means giving existence to something without any pre-existence of anything else. That is what I understand in creation. So what we have to understand, or we have to concentrate on it more as much as possible today. This is the skeleton backbone of the subject. Is the creation, is the cause, the existence of the universe is the cause of,
It's love
love.
the cause of
Yeah,
existence.
but it means it must be love that the reason for the existence of this universe, because it is just preferred. Just preferred. Can we say that the one who gave existence didn't love it? Is there any sign? So what gave existence, if something is created must be the result of the love of the creator to give existence to it. It looks a little bit repetitive, but if something is created, I conclude that created. It is the result of the love of the Creator to create it. Does it make sense what I say to you?
So are you saying that if I do something in this world and I prefer to do it, and it's also established that I'm not compelled to do it, so the only reason that
if it is not, if you are not
Right.
compelled.
So I can then say that the only reason that I would do it is that out of love?
Yeah, love to do it.
Right.
If you didn't love it, you wouldn't prefer it.
Because I'm not compelled and it's my preference.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
So
you
that's
didn't
why-
love it, you wouldn't prefer it, unless you are under pressure. Now, I'm going to use an example which is just only a metaphor. For example, human beings have feelings, and we are under the pressure of our feelings. Right? While we are using our free will, our free will is under the compelling power of compelling of the human free will. But if we prefer it freely, to do something freely, not being under any pressure or compelling factor, if we do something just to prefer it. But human being, this is not a perfect example, but in one sense, it shows that if you love to do something, you prefer to do it, unless you are under pressure or any kind of restrictions. So, but human beings, we know that human beings under the pressure of their already encoded feelings. For example, the love affection of the mother for the child. It is under the influence of this, but she prefers it. Of course, there is a factor, but this is human beings. It's not a creator. Human beings are not the creators. That's why we cannot create anything, because it is not completely a free action. For example, I have to protect my body from any danger because I am encoded with this feeling that I have to protect it. We know that. That's why people may misunderstand this subject and saying that, look, we are the creators of our actions. But it is not the creatorship, because if it was the creatorship, you could have given existence to something under being no compulsion. But in fact, we are already encoded with certain inclinations. But we can understand from our exercising our preferences. It doesn't mean that we have no preferences. It means I am a robot. I can just follow however I am made, like a machine. But this machine has no preference. Whatever I do, it only functions in a way it is. It has no preference. But human beings have preference. What do you prefer? Of course, it is under the influence of your already encoded tendencies in you, within your own existence. We are aware of it. But if you prefer, do you prefer something freely that you hate or you love? Which one do you prefer? You love. As far as this preference is concerned, we know that we We prefer what is lovable for me. That is just a small example, small criterion for me. Although I am under the influence of my already given human abilities. For example, I prefer to protect my life. I prefer to help the needy ones. I prefer to be productive, to be helpful. What I prefer to be reasonable, but we know that although I don't have to, but we are under the influence of already existing human qualities. It means the Creator has given us these qualities. But we are not robots. We have been given the choice not to choose it. So when you look at the universe, the one who created, who gave existence to the universe from nothing, it means it is an absolute preference. So if something is absolute preference is lovable for the person, for the agent who gave existence to the universe. Why is it important? We need to understand that whatever is created, in their creation, there is love. Whatever is created, in their creation, there is love. Right? Do you get it or not?
Yeah, I mean, doesn't this go back to your earlier lessons on how there is no evil in this world? Evil is not
creation.
In creation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So while we are using this kind of language, people don't understand because they are confused. When you say there is no evil in creation, they say, what do you mean? There are wars going on, killings are going
It does not
on.
originate.
No. In creation, there is no evil. But as far as my relationship with the event is concerned, or my usage of free will is concerned, I may I may make a wrong decision. And I may not like it. But there is a wisdom, there must be a wisdom in the existence of the thing that I don't like it. I have to think about it. But I have to make sure that the existence of anything is the result of love. It is difficult for our minds, your question, it is difficult for our minds, don't forget our mind to see that a calamity is happening. Yep. A volcano is erupting and covering something, then destroying its environment. This is out of love. There is a war, the children and people, innocent people, or the warriors themselves, why should they be killed? They shouldn't be killed. People say that soldiers, they're okay, but women and children are not. Anybody shouldn't be killed. In fact. And those people who are trying to kill each other, they shouldn't try to kill each other. That's why human desire is. While the event is taking place, it is very difficult for us to understand that it is a free choice as far as in their existence is concerned. Their existence is created as a result of free choice, which means preferred, which means out of love. That's what we have to understand. This is out of love. out of love, creating an atmosphere. For example, I don't know, tsunami is taking over a village or a city and destroying everything. That is out of love. It is so strange for us because we are not used to thinking in this way. It means which way? As far as their existence is concerned, everything is love. There is no evil intention. We cannot say that the Creator has intended evil, any evil, but it harms me.
My choice is evil. I could say that.
But let's say that's correct. Those people who choose something not lovable for me, their choice is evil. But how about they call it natural calamities? It is not my choice. It is the choice of the Creator. How the order is, sometimes the ocean, the sea, really turbulence or what is that? Hurricane happens. It's not my choice. It is the choice of the order, which is the orderer, ultimately. The orderer of the universe has chosen the sea to be like that. So to cause or to result in hurricane. Where is love there? It is very difficult. That's why we have to work on it.
Interpretation of that event. So my choice in interpreting that event is
My choice.
right.
Yeah.
So the way how I interpret that event would lead to my choice being
Let's
either
say
seeing
the
it.
existence of this event. Yeah, we have to put the word existence. It is extremely important. The existence of this event. How do I interpret the existence of this event? Be careful with the language. So if I say it is evil, it means the one who preferred it to exist didn't create it out of love. It means out of hate or anger or something. Not love. Risale. We have to work on this. If we work on this today and get a satisfactory conclusion, I will be very happy. Because this is a very important subject. Practically in our life, we don't think about this kind of aspect of the existence. Would you like me to give you a pen? Okay, pen. You
Oh,
may-
no.
Why not?
I have another one, I think.
No, it's very easy.
Oh. Thank you, sir.
So be comfortable. Yeah.
So the idea that because something exists, Allah loves it because He prefers.
Watch out for the language. Something exists.
All right. The existence of a phenomenon or an item, I guess I could say, right? The existence of an item is the proof that whatever gave it existence preferred its existence over its non-existence. That makes a lot of
That's our conclusion.
But when I read the Quran, there's certain verses in there where it says, Allah does not love the arrogant or Allah does not love the wasteful. How do I make sense of that? Because
It means that we have to understand the Quran again. I go back to this point every time this kind of question is raised to me. What's in the Quran?
a whole bunch of things.
Sorry?
A whole bunch of things.
Yeah, what is it?
Uh,
How do you regard it in a very general sense?
Guidance,
What kind of?
like guidance for how to live.
Sorry?
Guidance.
But whose guidance? From the
From our
president?
Creator.
Sorry?
From our Creator.
Yeah. So it is the speech of my Creator to guide me, understand what is right, what is wrong, and accordingly I will use my free will if I take lesson from it. So when you read a verse from the Quran, it is for me. It is for me, a guidance from my Creator, teaching me that I shouldn't like it. And telling me that, now we have to be very careful here, telling me that I am the one who gave you the sense not to like it, use it. Do you get it? Use this sense. Yes? Use this sense because I created you with these qualities. I am just stimulating, inciting your sense which is within you, put by me, and teaching you that, look, according to the way you are created, you shouldn't prefer this direction rather than the other. It is a guidance, it is a reminder. We said, Quran doesn't say anything extra to human reality. But without being guided, without being taught, we don't discover. Now get one more. There are extra, there are? No, there are? You? Yeah? Yeah. After climbing up 5 stairs, you need some fresh air. Yeah, but it's a good exercise, huh? You may be, but I'm getting younger. That's up to you. Now, when Quran says, or your God in this say, let's say it is true that my God is speaking to me, right? But we have not studied that, and it is not our subject today. If a person says that the Quran is a guidance from my Creator, and for any reason he concluded that yes, it is the guidance from my Creator, okay, he is expected to understand, to realize that this guidance is for me. Do you think a guide tells you something to do something that you cannot? What do you think? You cannot. He's not a guide. He's stupid. Yeah. For example, he tells me that, Ali, now, for example, I don't know, hit this wall away with your hand. Huh? Don't use another tool. Don't try to bring in a caterpillar or do a machine. No, with your hand. I cannot. But I'm guiding you to the right path. It doesn't work. So you understand that we misunderstand. We misinterpret. The Quran is a guidance, has nothing to do with my capacity. My capacity, the guidance, comes from the one who created me with my capacity. Do you think he will contradict himself? This is not a guidance. There is something wrong. We don't understand that Quran speaks to me as my Creator to guide me how to utilize all my qualities which are given to me by Him. We have to see this correlation there. Read the Quran from my perspective. When God says, I don't love you to do that, what does it mean? You shouldn't choose it. You can do it. It is within you. Yeah, because Quran speaks from God's perspective. I have to receive it from my perspective. That is a very fundamental thing. How many times you heard this? 20, 50, 100? But unfortunately, it is not in our mind. We go back. We go back to our preassumed concepts without really knowing what we are talking or why do we believe what we believe. We don't know. Just we take it for granted. But exactly the same thing you would hear from let's say a Jew guy. He would say Torah says this. Does it apply to you? We don't check it because we are. I'm not telling you that you are doing. In general, the culture which is presented to us accepts or assumes that belief in Islam, in the Quran, is pre-assumed. You are a Muslim, aren't you? So you shouldn't do that. Muslim doesn't do that. It is a stupid language. They don't establish why I am a Muslim. And they don't give me the guidance, really. They don't give me the framework why I should be a Muslim from the very beginning. Wow. I just found myself within this community, and this community believes in God. Okay. And believes that the Quran is the word of God, so I have to follow it. And this approach seems to be saving millions of people within Muslim community. For the Christians, saving billions of people within Christian community, and Jews also, or the Buddhists, because they say you have to be, because you are a member of this community. You have to be following the Bible because you are a Christian, aren't you? Because nowadays, maybe not nowadays, mostly people don't prefer their religion. Very rarely people prefer their religion. They found themselves born into it.
True.
That is not religion. That's culture. What we have to do, we have to analyze it, we have to study it, we have to see the consistency in it. If we are convinced, then we have to confirm it. If you are not convinced, question. Keep your question open. Investigate it. We investigate everything, even if you want to buy. Unfortunately, this is the reality. You want to buy a pair of shoes. How much do you investigate? How much do you think about it? The price, the quality, your friend has it, which is the fashion, which company, from the shop or through eBay or Amazon, whatever, Amazon. Investigate, compare. A pair of shoes. A pair of shoes, man. You will wear it, and most probably 6 months later, it will be out of fashion. And it will be just in the shelf of your, it's a burden on you after 6 months. Yeah. But when it comes to our essential subject, who am I? What am I doing in this world? Who made me? Who gave me existence, and why? Essential subject. We don't see it as valuable as a pair of shoes. in practical terms. When we speak, we speak with big words. I am ready to die to protect the Quran. Most people die. They never think. Thinking is very difficult. Thinking is very difficult. Reflecting is very difficult, especially matters related to belief. We dare not reflect on it. This is our reality. The question comes there. When you read the text, definitely you have to take it to yourself and look at it from your perspective. When God says, for example, let's study very general. I have created the heavens and the earth. What does it mean for you? You read the book here? I have created the mountains. There are statements in the Quran like this. What does it mean for you? What do you get? What do you make out of it?
I need to reflect on it. That the createdness part, that things are created around me. So let me look into it. How come they exist?
It means, yeah, I'm just putting in another word. Perfect. Oh, my reader. Special treatment, man. Hey, we will see you 5 years later doing the same special treatment. It's within you that we accept that. So you didn't ask another person whether they would like to get some tea or not. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's sweet. Good.
Oh, my reader.
So, oh my reader, you have to look at the mountain. You have to look at the heavens and earth and see that it has been created by a one who is absolute. And is not a part of the universe. Have you done this or not? Otherwise, don't repeat the statement. So it says, God never allows injustice. There are many. Justice is a very fundamental subject in the teachings of the Quran. Most of the events that we hear in the life of the Prophet is based on establishing justice. Establishing justice, not to protect the Muslim community. These are just practical reasons. Establishing justice, that no injustice should be permitted in this world because my Creator has given me the quality not to be on the side of injustice, to prefer justice. And the Quran says, as a guide, very simple, God doesn't love injustice. God loves justice. Yeah? Inna Allaha yuhibbul muqsitin. God loves those who act on a just base. It means you have the sense within you, and it is created by love. So you have the sense within you, which is through justice. You are inclined from your creation to be on the side of justice, and the guidance say, go this direction, reminds you, teaches you. It's very simple. Teaches you, reminds you. Because we recently studied this and frequently refer to this reality, we need to be taught. But the teaching is not extra. Do you get it? No. Whatever I am taught is not extra to my existence. It is already there, and the teacher is helping me to uncover it. Do you get it? For example, what is the most difficult subject for you? Biochemistry, right? When you look at the book, take the book and look at it. Oh, what does it mean? I don't understand. If I study, if I take the class, if I study this book, as if I am going to get something extra, that is wrong. You will discover what is within you. The book will help you to discover yourself. Teaching means this. We have to understand that I have the ability to understand this, to grasp it. But I need guidance to develop it or to uncover it. Without guidance, without the teaching, you cannot know, you cannot learn. Although it is already within you. After you learn what you say, I understand, it makes sense. That is correct. You see, you discovered yourself. When the first professor tells you something, you say, what's that? I didn't know. Yeah? As if you are getting something extra information. Can you read the Quran? It's very challenging. Very challenging. Muslims read the Quran, Christians read the Bible. Not as a source of extra information. What do you mean? What do you think? But not as a source of extra information, as a guidance to discover, uncover within yourself. What is within yourself? Of course, it is given to you by your Creator, right? But the difference between those people who say, we can find the truth by ourselves. We don't need guidance from the prophets or something, whatever they say. I don't care. I have to work on myself and I have to discover the truth within myself. That is not what we are saying. Because we accept, we are aware, we must be aware that all my creation includes within my existence all encoded qualities, already existing qualities given to me by my Creator, and my Creator is now guiding me to uncover them. That is a completely different approach from, they call it rationalist approach. But it is a very fine line there. You know, people confuse. If you say, I have to understand the Quran, what it says, they say, human reason is limited, my brother, my sister, you cannot understand absolute knowledge of God. It looks very religious, but it is, this reasoning is against human nature and stupid. Doesn't make sense, logically inconsistent. We have to say it, eh? Otherwise, we just follow what is already existing in the culture, in the name of religion. It has nothing to do with religion, it's stupidity. So if I'm not going to understand what the Quran is telling me within my own capacity, are you asking me to imitate it? And then the Christians and Jews and the Buddhists and Hindus are all correct because they imitate their own sources. Why should I be not Hindu, a Hindu? Why? Because I was born in a Muslim community. What does it mean? You have to choose. You have to decide. That's why we have to question. And question, it means within a consistent, logically consistent way that, look, my Creator says he doesn't like injustice. It means I shouldn't choose injustice, which means I have already created you with the sense which prefers justice. Follow it. Discover it, follow it. It's a guidance from me now. And if you find that the text is saying something which doesn't make sense to you, right? And you cannot really confirm it, what do? You don't uncover anything from within yourself. You just say, I don't know, I don't understand, but the professor told me this. And I worked on it. I didn't see any reason. Why should I accept it? Right? You say, this is the idea of the professor, I don't know, but I cannot approve it. Be frank. But when the professor teaches you and it makes sense to you, what do? Very simple. What the Quran teaches, really. But if you establish the principles, it is very easy to understand. There's a chair, somebody was here. Yeah. It is very easy to understand that your Creator is speaking to you. But you shouldn't fall into traditional, historical narrations. When you see the Quran within its historical context, it doesn't make sense. For you, you say that's what they say, that's what happened in 1,400 years ago. I don't know. I trust only what they say. This is not a confirmation. This is just imitation. Imitating the narration without having any evidence within yourself, saying that, yeah, it must be so. Yeah, you have to protect justice. You have to do something which is lovable to you. And you have to see that, for example, you can see the wisdom in everything, but you have to use your human qualities to understand. In the creation of the hurricane, you can see the purpose, but wisdom and purpose. But our mind is, hurricane destroyed something, so it is bad. Who said? If something is destroyed, or who said that it should be bad? I shouldn't prefer it. It's within me. But this world is being destroyed every moment anyways. What is the purpose? Purpose in being created in a very constant, perishable world. What is the purpose? We have to think. We have to understand that every moment I am experiencing destruction. The things are going and new things are created. Yeah. My youth has been distracted. And I am getting old. I understand that it's beautiful. It is really beautiful to get old. You really experience who you are and what you are. You are a limited, created being. And you want eternity, but the eternity is not available within this universe. But you want eternity, it means it is in you. You want it. Your Creator says, I'm going to give you eternity. You say, you must. You must. Because nothing in this universe gives me eternity, but I want eternity. So this word is right. Do you understand? Through you confirm that there must be an eternity. The communication with the source, the text, must be based on the premise, the main premise, that this text is a guide for me within my capacity, that I can grasp it. That doesn't limit the meaning, because your capacity may develop, if you choose to develop it, endlessly. You get it? Endlessly. The more you study, today's subject was biochemistry. So the more you study biochemistry, the more you become aware of what is going on in that world. Is there any end to it? Is there any end to your capacity? Is there any end to your capacity? Use it and see. That's it. You don't say that I am 80 years old and I cannot learn more, but I mean, because of the old age, dementia, or whatever the illness is, someone said. But these are the fundamental principles of the creation of this world, that teaching me from my very root. This world is not a permanent place, and you look for the permanent place, and you look for the one who is going to give you the permanent place. It's very simple. The one who gave me the desire for permanent place, permanent existence, must give it. Must give it. Nothing can give it to me, but I want it. Must give it. So you try to understand whether can he give it? Can the creator of this universe look at the universe itself? May have the option to create a world which is not transient. We don't know the creator, but we know this universe is so wonderful. The one who gave existence to this universe must be absolute. If he is absolute, yeah. That's why the Quran is full of the believers are in expectation of my favor. It is in the belief, it is in understanding. It is, and this understanding is not strange to you. Now, we can come back to our subject. Creation, can we say that the creation is equal to love? Over what we have been talking about was this. Creation is equal to love.
Okay, so my question is, it's not maybe more of a comment. We made the jump earlier, going back to the subject, between, okay, when you say that a calamity or any event or any phenomenon happens in this world, and we've established that there is a creator, then it must be out of love, as in must be out of absolute preference, and there's no compulsion in it. That much I understand. Out of love for what? Out of love for the event to happen rather than not to happen. Out of preference for the event to happen, not to happen. It has nothing to do, I mean, I just thought that we made this logical jump between out of love for us or out of love because there's wisdom in it. I think that's a completely different subject. Like, we're now talking just a calamity happens means that it happened because the creator loved to have created that, because there's no compulsion in it. This is between the creator and the event. It has nothing to do yet between him and me and how it affects me. So I just thought that I just want to make sure that I am not missing something, because we made that jump and then we started saying it's not evil and it's evil. I mean, we're not at this stage yet, right?
So we can understand the existence in terms of it is opposites. It is opposites. How do I understand that this universe must have a creator? Because I am created. I haven't seen the creator at all, but because I am created. So in contrast, so when we see that I love, for example, that eternity must exist. I cannot attribute the existence of eternity to anything within the universe. I have to conclude that the creator of the universe must have given us. No one is offering you? No. From the transience of this universe, I understand that there must be an eternity, because I don't like transience. Why? I am encoded with it. And I look for eternity. Anything must be perfect and continuous. But there is no sign in this world that I can find eternity within this world. Yeah? I can find eternity within this world. You can bring one chair, somebody, and so that you can put the tea and the. With extra chair, there are a lot of chairs in the other rooms. Yeah. So I understand the existence of eternity I understand the existence of eternity from the transience of this world. Now, if the world wasn't transient, I wouldn't even notice the existence of eternity. Now, because we understand, we are encoded with the capacity to understand the things with their opposites. That is my reality. So, when there is, for example, if anything happens as I am encoded with in the perfect way in this world, I wouldn't realize their absence. So I wouldn't really look for it. And I wouldn't even realize that I love eternity. I love without a word, without any distraction, any calamity, I wouldn't. So from time to time, the existence of calamity helps me to realize that, look, I cannot really control this world. No one can control this world. And this world is controlled by someone who has created it, and from time to time showing me that he is there. He is there and makes me realize that, look, I have to be aware of his act of creation. We cannot have only white, only the existence of black spots. We understand the existence of white. So these are the black points showing us that, look, you don't like this, you don't like to be destroyed, so you shouldn't destroy, but I'm telling you and showing you that I'm going to give you eternal happiness. This distraction is just to make you realize that you cannot guarantee eternal happiness by yourself. It is given to you. So you should admit that you are weak. You should admit that you cannot control anything. You should admit that the universe under the control of somebody else, it doesn't have to be as it is. Otherwise, people say, what do they say? It is natural. The things have to be as they are naturally. It is developing by themselves. This breaks the routine. Although the universe has an order, but this order is not fixed. Within the order, there are some, again within the order. For example, hurricane doesn't happen without order. Within the order, there are some things happening saying that this universe is not going to be as you like. It has another agent, controls everything, and you have to seek him, not the universe itself. We shouldn't forget that this is a transient world. We don't pay attention to this side of the existence, that this is a transient world. I have to train myself here in order to discover what is within me so that I will learn who I am, what is my position, what is the purpose of my existence in this world. These are the things that we have to work on. Unfortunately, we don't pay attention to this side. The universe being transient, we don't take notice of it. Why does it? We have to ask a very simple question. Why does it keep changing? What does it mean for me? It means I cannot see this universe as my permanent place of existence. It is a temporary place. But every moment, the things keep changing. It means just a transient residence or place of residence for me. It is not a permanent, but I want. And this one thing urges me to search, how can I realize it? You cannot. But the creator of this universe is telling me, come to me. I can. And I promise you, by giving you this sense, which desires eternity.
Just wanted to reiterate to what Tariq sort of asked. So you're looking for the wisdom in the creation of events where you have no control, where you have not utilized your free will on. Was that your query?
From love to wisdom, how did you jump?
Yeah, I was just making the distinction. No, I mean, we discussed both separately before. I'm just making a distinction between the fact that when the creator prefers something, it's out of love because there's no compulsion in it. That's one thing. That's between him and the event. And then that from the other side, now there's those logical beings here called humans who experience those events. How does also the creator, having chosen that event, reflects wisdom or love for those beings?
Okay, so in other words, the second part, as a being, I would want to see the wisdom in the creation of that event.
And
Yeah, that's extending the love to not just the preferring the event, but also that there's actually love for the human beings as well that are affected by this.
Don't we see that? Think about it within your own capacity. The creation of occasional hurricane is a way of teaching you your reality. So yeah, we say so it is a way of teaching you and reminding you, because we take it for granted that every day is following each other. Every day is following each other. It's a routine. But something happens out of routine, it strikes our attention. And we say, we cannot guarantee anything. I remember now. I have forgotten it totally. Because every day we live a routine life, whether we are religious or non-religious, doesn't matter, routine life. And every day we get hungry, we eat something, get hungry, eat something, and wake up and work and go back to sleep again and wake up. It's a routine. The summer followed by fall, and fall followed by winter. Now we say the weather is very hot. It's summer. Routine. This routine must be, as far as our education is concerned, for our own benefit, must be broken sometimes. Suddenly you say everything is fine and good. Oh, your friend has been killed in an accident. You start saying,
There must be.
huh?
Yeah, that's proof enough. It personally happened to me. So like when something like that happens, those are the calamities are the things that really sometimes help you question, make the bigger questions that you wouldn't make if everything was
And
just.
so don't you see the wisdom which is in its creation, which is the out of love for you, for me? Because if we were to live in this world eternally, no, there is no love. I understand. Because I'm disturbed in my world. But anyways, whether there are hurricanes, there are accidents or not, I'm going to die. That's how the order is. That's my reality. I know that. No one has to teach me. Well, we say, no, we die because Quran says that every person is going to taste the death. No. The Quran says this because it's the reality that I experience. And reminds me that, hey, Ali, you are going to die as well. So, I'm going to die, yeah. Not because I'm going to die, because the text says so. But the text just reminds me, it's a guide, right? So, I think we don't know how much, what time is it?
12:25.
Okay, we have some time. But we are going to go into a very important subject again. If we have any questions, please ask me. Yeah, please.
Sorry, what you're saying makes perfect sense. I'm sorry, Tariq, but when you're trying to separate like the creator's love for a calamity from its people, that's not making sense to me, and why we're trying to explain and justify that. I thought it's all combined. Like, how are you trying to separate people from the calamity and saying there's a separate love for each thing? It's all combined in this universe. So why do we even need to, why are we separating this? I'm confused. Like, why is it important to talk about?
Why do we talk about it? Do you think?
We're not separating it.
No.
But he asked,
It's an
like,
extension.
This is the
to it.
question, this is the concern that we confuse. Apparently, can you say, for me to harm somebody is bad enough to choose the harm, to prefer the harm. But if somebody needs to be warned for his own benefit, for example, let's say a child is going to touch the electric wire, which is naked. It's very dangerous. The child is going there, what do? You go crazy and jump on him and pick him up. And the child may say, why do you disturb me? Like that. Just remind me my reality. My reality. That is out of love. If you save somebody from a harmful position at the expense of giving some hurting to it, the person will get angry with you first, react. But If he realizes that you did it because you have saved him from a more dangerous position, he will thank you. So that's, yeah. Why do we, why do we specifically talk about it? People never see love in creation, especially when it goes against our expectations. But of course, if something is in routine, they don't question that. For example, why do I get old? It is routine. Routine needs to be broken sometimes for me to understand, to click in my perception of existence. Suddenly I realized that in my beard, why? I'm talking to somebody, white hair is coming out. What does it mean? But it was black. I know why. Why? Why did it change? You understand, huh? Is it for your harm or for your benefit? You understand that the existence of white hair is out of love. Now, I think we studied one sentence, eh? No, not a part of a sentence. And what binds it, of course, it is included in it. What binds the universe is love. Love. Love is the, if you like, how do we make it? Gravitation of the universe. Do you understand? Everything is gravitated to each other. In reality, it is an analogy, love. Gravitation of like the gravitation. Love binds the universe to each other, because out of love, we understand that all my atoms, particles got together, not by themselves, by the Creator, and formed me, again, by the Creator. This formation is done out of love. Right? So we have to understand also this one, that every form is given to anything and formed into an item, into an object, and made another opportunity for me to see the qualities of its creator. Atom is enough an evidence in and of itself that it is created perfectly. How about the molecules? Combination of atoms is another layer of evidence again. Another layer of evidence that it is consciously done. It cannot happen by accident. These are all for us. And the Creator is really providing us with the evidence that He is the one, He must be the one who combines everything together. I think we had enough. That's enough. And it is both the light of the universe and its life. Now, love is the light of the universe. Look, if we don't see the love, we don't see the light. And if we don't see the love in the existence of the universe, we don't see that the universe is a living being, life. It will become, if the creation is not out of love, in our eyes, it becomes an accumulated objects, accidentally happened as they are, like this. That just happened. Meaningless and lifeless, as if the universe seems to be lifeless. But if you really look at the universe carefully, we understand that everything is meaningful. Everything is continuously emitting, dispatching message to me. Everything in the universe dispatching message to me. For me, they become alive. Do you communicate with inanimate beings as alive? That is what we have to work on. Because they communicate with you. They transfer the information from their creator to you. My creator is this, my creator is the one who made me, who gave me this quality. I cannot have it by myself. And it's always giving message about their creator. That is called, in the language of the Quran, every single thing in the universe continuously glorifies its creator, alive. But if we don't see love in the existence, we don't see the glorification.
Is this dispatching message from the creator?
Yeah.
Oh.
If we don't see it as a human-made object, but look at its existence, how the atomic structure or how the molecular structure, chemical, they call it chemical qualities of the matter itself is perfect existence. And telling me that I cannot exist by myself accidentally. I am the result of, you don't do it. Have you ever thought that everything is moving? At least, for example, the floor you are stepping in, its atoms are continuously moving. Yeah? They are continuously really giving message to us.
I heard about it, but I've never thought about
No,
it.
yeah. For example, you cannot say the world is turning here, when rotating, the geography says so, and I believe, and I don't deny, that is reality, but it is a very simple thing. Every single thing is made up of atoms, and all atoms are continuously moving. Electrons are fast turning. What does it mean? Everything is really composed in a way that brings message to you. I am perfectly done. I am perfectly under control of my creator. That is life. But of course, we are taught that there are some animate beings, there are some inanimate beings. Inanimate beings are inanimate. And in this worldview, everything is meaningless, dead. Everything is dead because they don't communicate with the existence of anything. They don't get any message. If you ask them, what is this? They say it's a plant. It's a plant. What is it to do with you? They are communicating with you. We refer to it very frequently and say that we have to see the angelic side of existence. When, unfortunately, not only in a materialist worldview, even religious worldview, angelic side of existence is not emphasized enough that it doesn't attract our attention. We don't pay attention to it. We feel lonely.
We're talking about animate beings and non-animate beings.
No, we are not talking.
We're talking about just
people describe it. Everything is animate.
Okay, so this would be a non-animate being.
No, it's compared to your existence.
He's saying that doesn't exist. Like that. He's saying that
aspect.
worldview
Okay.
makes things dead, which in reality,
Yeah.
it's impossible.
Okay. So how are we defining animate beings?
Everything.
Everything.
Everything, even
Is
like
animate?
The
non-living.
pen of rock is still in it because the molecules and atoms.
Yeah, they are all speaking to you.
Okay.
And if they are speaking to you and bringing you the message and communicating with you, but the only thing is you have to turn the
No.
machine on. If your TV machine is off,
Mhm.
you get no broadcasting. Yeah. So you have to study on the world view that which makes sense to you and which is really confirmable under the witnessing of the universe. Okay, we may not cover this subject on the 15 past minutes. So, no, 15? No, 15 to
45 at 12:45.
45,
Yes.
Since that's a very important subject now, since man is the most comprehensive fruit of the universe, most comprehensive fruit of the universe, we are conscious of not only our own existence, but the existence of others. We know that from our own creation.
Existence of even a speck, right? We're talking about animate beings, so a little speck would qualify.
So, no, compared to you, you understand that your existence, you are the most comprehensive. You have been endowed with the most comprehensive qualities.
As opposed to who am I compared? Since man is the
To
most
other creatures.
other animate beings.
Animate, this division doesn't exist anyway.
That's what he's-
Because I'm trying to understand everything is animate being, right? Like, so I was thinking
So
living
everything-
things, non-living things, and
But you
like
have,
the rock you said, it's an animate being. What is
so yeah, it is, as far as your communication is concerned, yes, you can regard it as an animate being. But compared to a tree, it is not a tree.
right?
Compared to an animal, it is not an animal.
Mhm.
Compared to a human being, it's not a human being. Our capacities are different, but at any rate, they are communicating with you within their own capacity.
Okay.
Now, you understand that the human beings, we understand that we have a huge capacity
Mhm.
in our existence.
Mhm.
So we don't only, for example, speak one message. We don't only give one message to the one who observes me, but I can speak to this person and give the message through my own endless human qualities. I can really reflect on creatorship, artisanship, compassion,
Okay.
justice. I can really, and also I am conscious of my being.
Mhm.
So I understand that as if we make an analogy, which the author makes this analogy very frequently, universe is like a tree, right? And the fruit of this tree is human being. It's an analogy. We don't know the other beings, but I understand that I am very comprehensive. So I say, as far as my capacity tells me that I am the most comprehensive artifact in the creation. So I can say the universe has been really working, and the order has been established in order to let me know that human being is, you are a very, very last product, the most perfect product as a result of this order. So we can say that the purpose of the Creator has given existence to this universe in order to create a man in it to understand everything with the capacity, with its capacity. That's, I can see this capacity within me, that I am given such qualities that can perceive the qualities manifested in the universe. All of them I can appreciate it. If I specialize in any subject, I understand the qualities of the creator in that particular subject. If I specialized in another subject, I would be able to understand the qualities manifested in that subject or in that object. So I understand that I'm a really well-equipped creature. So since man is the most comprehensive fruit of the universe, now we have to be careful now. I know we have to stop soon. At least we will introduce the subject. At least, even if we cannot study it today. A love that will conquer the universe, if the existence of the universe consists of love. We studied this. I mean, we spend a lot of time on it. Inshallah, God willing, it's understood. So the love conquers the universe. It was everywhere. Even the most undesired event is the result of love in its existence. In its existence. So this love has been included in his heart. In his heart means the center, the representative of human feelings. Human, really, what makes me a human being? All the human qualities. So it is in my heart. All the love manifested in the creation is included in your capacity, within your capacity. Heart, the seed of that fruit. Now, we said human being is the fruit, but every fruit has a seed. Includes all the qualities of the tree within itself, the seed. We understand that? The seed includes all capacities of the tree within itself in a potential way. But it is potentially there. If needed, it develops, grows, according to the conditions of the creator's choice. So human beings are the fruit of the universe. Human heart, the center of the representative of the senses, is the seed of that fruit. It means if somebody, a person, is sown into the universe, as an analogy, and let it grow into a tree, what will come out? Sorry? What will come out? Now, let me put it in another way. Human senses, qualities or capacities, potentialities. If these human potentialities are given existence into a form of a tree, like the potentiality of the seed is given existence into form of a tree. This is an analogy. So human qualities can grow into a
Tree?
which tree?
Tree of the
Universe.
universe.
Yeah, because the love is summarized in human potentiality, in its human potentiality. You communicate with everything. Somebody's insisting. You communicate with everything. You communicate with everything through your potentialities, and you can deduct from the universe and understand the qualities of the universe within your own self. So one, heart is a symbol, huh? One heart is equal to, quality-wise, the universe. One seed is equal to potentially, one seed potentially is equal to the whole tree. That's why human beings are so precious. We have to know our value. So, thus only one possessing infinite perfection may be worthy of such an infinite love. We have to work on it more and turn into, how are we going to turn this capacity of love into worship? Yeah.
Okay, but just so that I understand, so the universe is where the qualities of the creator is being reflected. And so what you're saying is the heart of a human being is capable of reflecting all of those qualities just as much as the universe is, if given the opportunity to realize its potential, right?
And also this is what we should understand worship.
Okay.
That we are going to work or concentrate on it next week. But we are studying individual subjects related to each other. But of course, if you notice, it changes my worldview and realize who I am. It helps. So we don't say that when are we going to finish the text. It's not important. We are studying independent subjects, separate subjects. Although the subjects are the chapters of the same book. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We have to stop here. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعوانا إن الحمد لله رب العالمين.